Howdy, God damn, why do I usually start yawning the moment I start talking? But howdy, everybody. Hope you're doing pretty dang great. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back to Stranded Deep in Conversation. We're back at the main island, I think. Yes, am I still poisoned? Yes, you can tell by the corn in my skin. Yeah, today's topic is an interesting one. I feel like it's a good debate, maybe. But we're gonna start with some small talk because it's what we do here. No, it's not. Well, we used to. I used to do a thing called This Week in Retail, where I just kind of rambled about things that happened that week during my job in retail. Which I am still doing, by the way. Still going strong at that. But I guess things became a little bit more mundane. And I guess I could say, I think they're still pretty fucking stupid. It's to a point where I don't know if I can necessarily talk about a lot of the stupid things. Just mostly with like colleagues or whatever. I don't know. It's fun though. I really enjoy it. There's something in my mouth. I just noticed the moment. It's literally I was awake for like 2 hours at this point. And I could have noticed this at any time, but of course I'm like, no, I'm talking now. Maybe my mouth is just decomposing. I had no idea. This is really weird. I'm so sorry. But, yeah. So, some small talk. There is something that did happen at work, I say just, like last week. I think last week to the nose, because I'm pretty sure it happened on Thursday or Friday. It was Friday, because I just recorded St. Patrick's Day was 2 weeks ago. Jeez, St. Patrick's Day was 2 weeks ago. Wow. What a crazy world. I'm running away from the water. Did I say 2 days or 2 weeks? I meant 2 days. 2 weeks. I meant 2 weeks. I'm still poisoned. I really don't know how to fix that. I think I meant to Google it at some point, but I didn't. But either way, no, it was Thursday. Yes, it was Thursday, because that was just a regular episode. Yes, on Thursday, yes, Thursday, on Thursday, and I went to work right after recording the thing. Oh, for crying out, Pete. Uno momento, friends. Where's the pause button? Yeah, so on Thursday, I went. There? Okay. On Thursday, and the music's dead. Okay, it's just gone. Okay, whatever. So on Thursday, I went to work right after finishing the thing over dangle. And to my surprise, I'll think about it later. No, I won't. I think about it like all the time right now. But yeah, so I went to work, and I get in there, and one of my coworkers was like they were just about to leave actually. But there was a phone call, and I just was about to clock in, so I technically wasn't clocked in, so they took the phone call. And I think I mentioned this already in a stream this week, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. I don't really know who it was, because I wasn't the one taking the phone call, but all I know is that they were looking for like a psoriasis cream and some other things, but particularly the psoriasis cream, which she was trying to be like, okay, well, if you can give me a second, I'm going to go look and see if we have any of this cream that you wanted to know if we even have. Tell me why. Slam the door open when I said, "Oh, soup." Okay, that makes it so much better. I'm just gonna finish the story and then maybe I'll close the door again. But yeah, so I go. She goes after like maybe 5 minutes of like debating with this guy as to whether or not she can go look for the psoriasis cream. Like eventually I guess he was like describing the bottle as much as he could to him. Which is fair, I guess, but for 5 minutes and like not letting her just go check, I mean, it's kind of silly. But eventually, she gets off the phone and goes to check. And, you know, at this point she's going insane because she was supposed to leave like 4 minutes ago, and she's just up a wall. So she looks, she goes and finds the cream. She starts talking to him again. Hey, there was no cream. And then he is like, okay, then I'll just get this thing, that thing. He starts listing like so many different things for her to look for because they couldn't find the cream. I guess it was like punishment or something. And she's like, oh my god, fine, okay, I'll look for these things. She couldn't really find the specific things that he was looking for. Again, she brought up a bunch of like substitutes, and then I look at the post-it note that she wrote for like the psoriasis cream. And I'm like, oh, I think I remember seeing that. I think I remember putting that on the shelf the other day, I think. And I go to the shelf, and lo and behold, it was there. Granted, it was kind of behind some stuff because someone had already taken one off of the shelf, so everything was kind of pushed back a little bit. So, you know, I mean, hey, I miss things all the time. I didn't think she was just not looking or anything. I think she just genuinely didn't see it. And so I bring it up to her, and she's like, oh, cool, we do have it. Keep in mind, this is another, like, maybe 5 or 6 minutes. The other person who's supposed to be working with me that night shows up, gets started, whilst I'm just sitting here, kind of talking, and, like, not talking, but just kind of looking at this thing unfold in front of me. And then she has the cream. She's like, okay, hey, we got the cream, you know, we got that. We'll take your information, we'll write it down, we'll keep it for you whenever you come in. And he's like, great, I'll do that. And at this point, she's like sitting on the floor because he's just taking up. He isn't stopping talking. Like the talking is all he wants to do today, apparently. But yeah, so he keeps talking. I think the whole conversation must have went for like 12 minutes tops. Like it was such a long process. But at the end, it could have been 11 minutes total, probably. Like, it could have been a minute shorter had she not asked if he wanted two. Despite him only asking for one, she was like, okay, would you like us to grab you another one? Which then instigated a whole other conversation, and then she just looked at the sky with, like, just pity, like, self-pity in her heart, hoping that, like, he's thinking, why did I ask that? Why did I say what I just said? What's wrong with me? It was so fucking funny. And then she gets off the phone. She's like, I'm out of here. She sleeps. It was fucking hilarious. Yeah, you know, but before she does leave, and this is one of the biggest parts of the story, at least for me. She goes to put the thing down. She writes down his information. He puts it on. He goes to put it on the shelf. We put things on, and already sitting there is another psoriasis cream of the exact same type, with almost to the T the exact same note, but like a week ago it was put there, like a week prior. So they just left this cream. They asked for this a week ago, and got a response and an answer, and then they called again a week later just to confirm. But they didn't really say that they already had one there. They just said that I need one. So we just had to find it again. And at that point, she's like, I'm done. And she just put both of them on the shelf. They'll deal with it when they'll get two or whatever. I don't care. They just left. It was fucking amazing. Man. Well, another interesting note. My hand is doing that thing it does again. I talked about this way back at this point, where I get a British stranded deep in conversation, where my hand just kind of does that peely thing where it gets like red and itchy, and then it just starts to peel. It's doing that again. I don't exactly know what it is. I've never tried to learn. It's a thing that happens to me, like once a year or so, once or twice a year. So here it is. So I'm just living with it. I don't really care all that much. It's not that big of a deal. Yesterday it was itchy as hell, but it's fine now. I don't really get it. When I wash my hands, my hand kind of looks normal, but then as it dries, it starts to really just become this flaky disaster. But right now it looks okay. Right now it's fine. It's weird. I don't get it. I don't know if my skin just gets drier in the middle of the day, which is when it usually starts going all itchy and shit. I'm actually gonna die. How do I fix the poisoning? I don't know. I really don't care either. I mean, at this point. I'm getting hungry though. Oh, I have meat. Nah, it's spoiled. But yeah, it was a wacky time. My hand is all messed up again. It's fine. I'll be fine. The last bit of small talk I have before I get started with with the conversation today is this is another at work story. At work we have a little candy bowl of just candy for people to take if a customer is like, oh hey, I want some candy, and they get a little candy bowl. It's nice. It's a nice little thing. It's easy. It's fun. Everyone enjoys it, especially us, because we will sometimes just take some of that candy, because why not? It's our candy bowl. We do whatever the hell we damn well please with our candy bowl. And so we'll take some stuff, and the other day, I wanted a Starburst, because, not necessarily because I wanted Starburst, but because that was the only thing in the bowl I actually wanted. I don't really like caramel or peanuts, so Snickers and Twix were out of the equation. So all that was left was this Starburst, which is pretty much the only other thing in there except for butterscotch, those little stupid things that old people put in their mouths, butterscotch candy things. That and some peppermints, which I also don't like. I'm not a big fan of mint, so yeah, literally the only option in there was Starburst. And I was like, okay, you know what? I like some Starburst. Starburst is good. I'll try for Starburst. And I sit there. I open my first pack of Starburst. And I get I believe it's a pink and an orange. I was like, okay, cool. I'll have the pink one. I'm not really feeling the orange right now, so I'm gonna put that aside. Actually, it's like a double pack, but they're still individually they're wrapped already. So I just put the orange one back in the bowl. Sue me. But after that one, I was filled with so much rage that I didn't throw any back into the bowl. I in fact threw them in the trash, which I know, wasteful, but I was angry at Starburst gods, like I feel most people are when they get those little fun-sized packs of Starburst where there's 2 in there. I can tell you because I might have even wrote it down, but I know that I just remember this situation so vividly that I don't really need to write it down, and I don't think I did anyway. I did not. The only other thing I actually wrote down for this week was someone said, thank you, Mandem, because they didn't know if I was, they saw my hair, and they were like, oh, I don't know, I'm just going to play both options. It said ma'am, so like ma'am and man at the same time. It was a good play. I didn't know what to say. But yeah, so the second freaking Starburst pack I opened, because I finished the pink one, and after, I don't know, half an hour, I was like, you know what, I'll take another piece of stuff, I'll take another Starburst. I open a pack, I get 2 oranges, and I'm like, okay, I mean, I don't want orange, and after having already gotten an orange, I was pretty much on this vendetta of, I hate you, orange, give me something else. And so I literally just trucked that pack, and I was like, okay, something new, something better, like a pink, maybe even a red, I'll take either. I opened a pack, a yellow and an orange. The inarguably worst flavors one could ever ask for when it comes to Starburst. No one wants those 2, which is of course why those are the most filled ones in the bunch of Starburst. It's just great. I don't want those. I open another one, and the first one I see is an orange. And I'm thinking, you gotta be fucking kidding me. But then I peel it back more, and there's a pink in there. I'm like, oh, thank God. Oh, we are saved. Everything is okay. And so I take the pink, put it in my mouth, enjoy it, and I go about my day. Some time passes. A good amount of time. I don't remember how much time. It was a decent amount of time. A decent amount of time passes, and I'm like, hey, you know what? I could use another Starburst. So I open a pack, and it's 2 fucking oranges again. I don't know how. In God, it's just absurd. I open another one. This is a red and a yellow, so it's like no oranges there. Thankfully, the first one without an orange. But, I got a red one. Hey, red's good. I don't know if I like red or pink more. It might be red, because I like cherry. I like cherry-flavored things. But it's just stupid. I like the smell of cherry as well. This could be stopping an antidote. Sorry, I'm Googling how to fix poison before I die But yeah, so I opened that packet of red, and I'm like, okay, cool, this is nice. Let me, after I finish that one, I'm still a little bit, I didn't take a break, so I was like still kind of hungry, and I was like, okay, I'll take another one. And it was 2 oranges again, and I literally just stopped. I just couldn't. I genuinely just, I couldn't. My brain, it's just, it just couldn't work. I didn't want to exist at that point in my time. So I didn't. Okay, this thing. Yeah, PB plant. I think I have one of those, actually. Do I have one of those? I'm like pretty sure. But yeah, Starburst, fuck you. I'm just pointing that out to the world. Fuck Starburst. I love Starburst, but the amount of oranges that I get, even the other day, there was still some Starburst in there, so I had some more. And, it's aloe. Yucca. What, didn't I have a PB? I had a PB plant. Where'd my PB plant? Did I eat the I probably ate the fucking thing. Okay, go on a search, I guess. But yeah, I mean, just the sheer amount of times that I get orange is absolutely just undefendable. It's undefendable. Okay. Let's need a flask for this thing. So I have to get me some of those things that would put it in the fire. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, it's so awful. Starburst, like, I love Starburst. Like the red and the pink one stays fun. They get the fave reds. If you're going to get Starburst, please save yourself the trouble. Get the fave reds. Because no one, like, what is the, like, don't get me wrong. I did cave in and eat one of the orange ones that I got. I wasn't happy about it. And I did like it. I don't hate citrus as a flavor or a scent at all. I just was, hoping for one that I liked a lot more than that. And I didn't get it. And I was upset. And I felt silly. But, hey, what are you going to do? Give me this. Make flask. There we go. Okay. But yeah, it's just, oh yeah, that's a flask already, isn't it? Yep. How I love me. But yeah, I just, it's something, alright. Tell you that much. But yeah, so I guess this now segues into the actual topic for the episode. I apologize for fucking stalling for almost 20 minutes. But you have to understand, those were very serious things. Very serious things I need to talk about. Antidote. I'm cured, baby. What a lovely day. Can't just eat the PB plant. You gotta put it in a coconut. Okay, but we did it. We are safe. We are alive. And we can get to the topic of today. You know the topic already. The title says it. It's the perfect scent. I don't know why I had this idea. I think it stems from another situation at work where I was redoing a wall of like items, and some deodorant was going on clearance, so I bought some that I thought smelled nice. But thing is, though, they don't smell like deodorant. Like, I have them here today. There's 2 Old Spices. One of them is called Mamba King, which is just very citrusy, but in like a bath, like it smells like a citrusy like body wash. But like, and it's pretty good. I like it, but again, I don't think it's deodorant. It doesn't feel like a deodorant at all. It just feels like, I don't know. It just feels like something that you'd wash with. It feels like something that it's like if I just doused my loofah in body wash, that's what I'd expect it to smell like. I wouldn't expect, which is good, I guess, because like, I don't like body wash. I much prefer bars of soap. I don't know if it necessarily does anything different, but the main thing I like about bars of soap is that I feel like the scent of the soap lasts a lot more on my body. Like, I have this like raspberry. I have this body wash that smells like exactly like raspberry Pop-Tarts. Because those are my favorite flavor of Pop-Tarts. Like, uncontested. Nothing could top them ever. I love those things. And it smells exactly like them. So I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. I'm going to smell like raspberry Pop-Tarts. I put that shit on a loofah. I scrub around. It doesn't stick. The scent doesn't stick. Which is why it's such a good, like if there's a perfect scent, raspberry Pop-Tarts might top the list. And then it's, This other one is called Night Panther, which just smells like a vanilla candle. It smells like a vanilla, like, what's a brand? Like Yankee Candle. It smells like a vanilla Yankee Candle, which is good for a candle, but for deodorant, I mean, not really feeling it. Like, I'd much rather have this candle that I have here, which is a Twinkie scented candle. Twinkies smell baller. I feel like when it comes to the perfect scent, there's a lot of different criteria. Like, some people might consider, like, a food the best scent. Like, for me, raspberry Pop-Tarts probably up there as some of the best scented things in the world. I think Pop-Tarts, as a whole, smell pretty dang good, and they taste pretty good. The fruity ones, I don't care much for the sweet ones, but the fruit ones are good. And I don't really like the textures of most fruits, so I mean, hey, you know, if I can get that taste, like strawberry, cherry, blueberry, raspberry, obviously, sign me up. Raspberry, obviously my favorite. I mean, cherry's pretty up there, but raspberry, if you have raspberry flavored much of anything, I love that stuff. But a Pop-Tart specifically, like raspberry Pop-Tarts and Twinkies are like up there with like the best smelling things. And those are both generally considered sweet smells, which is weird because I don't care much for sweet, so I'm surprised that I consider those such good scents. Like, I don't like the smell of like fresh like brownies or chocolate or anything like that. I don't care much for chocolate, so I'm just like, oh, okay, well, I'm not gonna. I mean, it's nice, it tastes good, but I mean, it's not like I'd rather. Like when it comes to like a homemade brownie, sometimes I'd rather have a raspberry Pop-Tart because I just don't care much for chocolate, which is, I mean, like, fine. If the brownie's made a specific way, like if it's like nice and chewy, but like still like kind of like, if it's a good brownie, I'd probably prefer a homemade brownie. Also, just because of the connotations of a homemade brownie. But smell wise, I wouldn't want to smell that every day. I wouldn't want to smell that for like more than 5 minutes. There are some scents that make me gag almost instantly, especially as a kid. Fresh coffee does not even come close to the perfect scent. Fresh coffee. I would walk into my local deli and start actually gagging because of how just pungent the fresh coffee was. I'm not a coffee drinker, so I don't like the smell of coffee. In the morning, in the night, in the ever. Hate it. Hate that stuff. It smells awful. But yeah. Absolutely phenomenally horrible smell. And I think everyone should understand that and hate it with me. But people don't. People think coffee is the greatest thing in the world. And I mean, sure, you know, to each their own. If you wanna freaking drink coffee, go for it. Just don't smell that damn coffee. Alright, don't drink it near me, because fresh coffee will actually make me gag. I actually threw up once because I ate a cappuccino flavored Lay's, because that was when they used to do like the, I don't know if they still do this, but they used to do like a submit your own flavor, and they'd choose like 3 or 4, and then they'll see which flavor was voted like the community's favorite, and then that one would like stay around for a while. And I mean, they had some bangers like chicken and waffles, and like I think that's the only one I can actually remember is the chicken and waffles one, which was pretty good. But they'd have like gag answers in there too, like cappuccino. No one in their right mind should have ever eaten a or at least thought that cappuccino Lay's was a good idea, but they did anyway, and it was disgusting, and I actually threw up eating half of a chip. It is disgusting. We're not talking about flavors, we're talking about scents. So anything coffee, get it out of the table. It's not even close. What's a good smell? That's the thing. With me, scents are kind of weird, because if something's too strong, my nose kind of automatically gags, because my nose is, again, always clogged. So, anything too strong, that I like, actually kind of smell it good, makes me just very confused. And just, my brain's like, what is that? Awful. But yeah. Another good smell. What are some good smelling foods? I think that cheese. I think it's only certain cheeses though. It's like Swiss cheese has that, like, when you melt it, has that smell. That's like, oh, this is gonna be a good sandwich. but I wouldn't necessarily think it's like the perfect scent. Like cheddar cheese melted just smells like grease, which is a pretty good smell. I feel like the perfect smell, a good contender that's not necessarily a food, but like an area where food is made, is like when you just walk into like a homemade pizzeria, like a non-chain brand pizzeria. So for me, like if I was back in Brooklyn and I'd walk into a pizza den right on the end, right outside of the 18th Avenue D train station, I'd walk in there and I'd smell all the calzones and the pizzas and all these different things being made, and just the heat of those foods smells amazing. Cold pizza tastes amazing, but hot, it doesn't smell anywhere near as good as a hot pizza. And just like that pizzeria scent, I feel like it's been engraved in my head. Despite not really going into many pizzerias lately, because there's not a lot of good ones over here in Pennsylvania. I'm gonna say it. It doesn't compare. None of it compares to New York pizza. And one time I went to a pizzeria and I got some slices and they're like, "Oh, that smells great." And they're like, "Oh yeah, it tastes pretty." And so a customer online was like, "It tastes pretty good, yeah, but it doesn't compare to anything to New Jersey's pizza. You want good pizza? You go to New Jersey." I was like ready to smack her in the mouth. Because how dare anyone say anything positive about New Jersey? What's wrong with people? Who thinks... What's that? What does New Jersey deserve? They have Sesame Place and Six Flags. They have all the tourist traps. Because they are quite literally traps to keep you in New Jersey for as long as possible so they can up the population count. So like, more people will be like, "Oh, hey, New Jersey seems pretty popular. Let's go over there." It's a trap. New Jersey as a state is a trap. And I feel sorry for anyone who lives there. Ugh, New Jersey. New Jersey would be an awful smell. Granted, I think any city would be an awful... And so, same thing with rural areas. Because I walk to work sometimes, and I'm in a pretty rural area. There's not a lot of buildings. Mostly just farmland on the walk. At least for like the first, like 2/3 of it. Until I actually hit like the town or the city. But that whole walk has a 50-50 shot of just reeking of the most bizarrely cheesiest shit I've ever smelled in my life. I don't know what it is. Like, especially during like wintertime, whenever I'd go out, this is like last year especially, I'd go out on these really cold mornings, and I'd be bundled up, and I'd be going outside, but since it's cold, it's kind of like moisture in the air, so my nose would kind of unclog a little bit, and I just get the harshest whiff of like just shit, and it's clearly shit, but it smells cheesy. It smells like not like the only thing that I could pin it on is like nacho twisters, like the chip I think Wise makes, like nacho twisters. It kind of smells like that, but I haven't smelled a nacho twister in years, so I don't know why that's the first thing that comes to my mind. It's probably not true. It's probably very not true, in the slightest. But that's what my brain goes to. That's what my brain immediately thinks. So, I mean, I don't know. It's an interesting thing. But, I mean, hey, what you gonna do? It's weird. But the thing is, I don't know if I like that smell or not. Like, it smells like shit. You know it's shit. It smells bad. But at the same time, you're like there sniffing it like, what does that smell like? That smells like something I like. I love nacho twisters. One of the best chips out there. So why does shit remind me of the smell of nacho twisters? I don't know. So I'm like, is this something that I actually... Do I like this smell? Is it up there? Is it one of the best smells there? Because I say nacho twisters is a good smell. Then I'm essentially saying like shit smells good. I mean, shit does not smell good. It's a very like obvious smell, which I don't think decrees automatically it being a good smell. I think it just becomes an obvious smell. Like, what is the perfect smell? Should the perfect smell exactly pinpoint what you're smelling? Like, if you say that the perfect smell is like homemade mac and cheese or something, like, what about the homemade mac and cheese makes it the perfect smell? Is it the combination of all of the things that you put in your mac and cheese, your mom puts in your mac and cheese? Like, if you put just cheese and some spices into some pasta, into some boiling pasta, like hot pasta. Like that's the perfect smell. But like, how do you know what's in it? Like, I feel like a perfect smell should automatically dictate what you're smelling. Like obviously mac and cheese, but people's mac and cheese are very, very different. Like some mac and cheese is good, and frozen mac and cheese is disgusting. And a lot of restaurant mac and cheese, Buffalo Wild Wings mac and cheese, I hate that. It's awful. And that smells like mac and cheese. It smells like most mac and cheese that I come across. It's just the variability of like mac and cheese. Like, if I say my favorite smell is mac, if I say my favorite smell is raspberry pop tarts, pop tarts are very factory made. They all taste the same. They don't all look the same, but they all have the general taste and smell profile that are down packed. With mac and cheese, it varies so much that you can smell mac and cheese, but ooh, it's mac and cheese. I love mac and cheese. Let me get some mac and cheese. And then you get it, and it's just the saddest pile of glob mush you've ever tasted in your life. And then you just regret everything. You just regret it all. Like, I feel like it needs to be a very basic scent to accurately depict what you're getting into. Like, oh, it's oregano. It smells like oregano. I like oregano. It smells like oregano. I want whatever that has because it has oregano. You smell the oregano. Instead of saying, hey, I smell that perfect, that like super, like spicy, like Indian curry over there. You only get a taste of that, and then you wind up hating it. Or like, hey, that specific pizza, that smells amazing. And then it turns out it has spinach on it, and then you're like, why the fuck, who puts spinach on pizza? And then you just throw it away because you're sad. Hello, Tubby. You are not the perfect smell. You stink. There is a like close to 50-50 chance that whenever he jumps onto me like he is right now, that he just ripped the fattest, stinkiest ass, and I literally I had to spend like 2 minutes just condoning it. And it sucks. You suck, you big fat man. Your food smells awful. You smell awful. Well, you don't smell it. Your farts smell awful. You smell fine. You smell just fine. You're nice. I feel like one smell that is like hit or miss-ish is cardboard. I feel like cardboard is a pretty dang good smell. Like, and obviously not a good taste. Like, I had a chocolate like a month ago or something that me and my sister tried, and we tried it, and it just tasted like straight cardboard. Like, it actually tasted awful. For chocolate, anyway. But the smell of some cardboard, I don't know if it's because it reminds you of just like pizza boxes and stuff, or what, but I just like the smell of some cardboard. It just smells like cardboard. I don't know. Just the smell of just like ungreased, like just nice cardboard. Like this, I have a box here. Yeah, it doesn't really smell like cardboard. Some cardboard, I feel like cardboard can't be it, but some cardboard has like a stench to it, and it's usually pretty good. At least for me, it's usually pretty good. Packing peanuts, every like week or so, we get like some deliveries to our store, and I have to unpack them and like get them in and then put them where they gotta go, and I'll do that, and the things are always coated in packing peanuts. And they smell almost like Cheetos or something. But like gourmet Cheetos almost. And it's like, damn, I kind of want to eat one of these. And apparently my sister knows someone who did eat one of those, and they hated it. And it tasted awful. Okay. Another scent... I feel like let's try to get... Well, we are kind of already off the food trail. Maybe you want to go back on the food trail? If I opened... I think eggs smell pretty bad. They taste fine. I like eggs. I love breakfast food. Breakfast sandwiches, especially. Potatoes and eggs and stuff, I don't really care for the smell of them. Like those are... Like, if I'm thinking of, like, my favorite foods, like, breakfast food is pretty up there. A fresh bagel. Oh, my God, a fresh bagel. Like, even just a plain bagel. It doesn't have to be, like, a seasoned bagel. Just a fresh, plain bagel. Oh my god. That is like one of the most nostalgic and most delicious smells you could ever ask for. Does that beat raspberry Pop Tarts in my head though? Yeah, it does. It so does. That's so good. Okay, so I feel like there needs to be categories for this because there's different there's certain smells that elicit certain like reactions in your body, in your head. Like some of them are like, ooh, I want to eat that. Some of them are like, ooh, I want to put that on my body and smell like that. Or ooh, I want to put that in my room and smell that all the time. You know, like for like air fresheners, I feel like just a straight up like just clean fabric ones that are best because that just smells nice. It smells like it's like the vanilla of like air fresheners, except there is probably a vanilla air freshener, but like ignore that because that's like a more exotic scent thing, like just clean linen or fresh linen. That's like the most bland, but also the most just enjoyable, just like air freshener scent. But again, this Twinkie smelling candle, I don't really smell it unless I put it like right up to my nose. But it's good. But it also reminds me of more food than, oh, I want my whole house to smell like Twinkie. Like, I don't think anyone really wants that. That thing's creepy. Like I don't know. It's an interesting thing to think about. Flowers? People think flowers smell good. I don't smell like anything when I smell flowers. Again, my nose is mostly clogged. So I guess flowers have like a delicate smell to them. And they're like not a lot of flowers are very strong. I think one of the main strong ones is like the one that like literally just smells like ass. Like dead people. It smells like rotting corpses. Isn't that a thing? Like the corpse bloom flower or something? I'm pretty sure that's a thing. I'm googling it on my phone so you don't have to hear it. Corpse bloom flower. Titan aurum. Is this the thing? Why is the corpse flower so rare? It only blooms every 7 years. Apparently, the corpse flower only blooms has enough sufficient energy to do so. Why is it called the corpse flower? Which smells like rotting flesh. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it is genuinely awful. So yeah, like some flowers smell awful. Some flowers smell like slightly good. So the slight smells I don't really get a good whiff of. So flowers I don't think are the perfect smell because not everyone can smell them. I feel like we need to factor in everybody. Except for obviously the people who literally can't smell. But for people who are like smelly and challenged like myself, I don't have good nostrils. Hello, Tubby. I feel like, where you poop? You're Tubby. Okay, but but yeah, like I feel like it needs to be a strong enough smell that way like everyone can smell it. And like, if everyone can smell something that they like, I feel like everyone will be a much happier person. Some people live with manure, which is a shame. But if we can get something stronger than manure, which really isn't out there, I don't think. At least something that smells good, that's better than manure. I feel like good smells only last for so long, but bad smells are just kind of made to linger and exist, which is a really sad thing. I could obviously, like, I feel like there's an obvious one, but I don't really know if I should say it. But I'm gonna say it anyway. That's like markers, like Sharpies. But sometimes the thing is though, I never understood this. Don't sniff Sharpies. Don't like go out of your way to huff Sharpies or huff like canned air or whatever. But they make that stuff smell great. It smells good. Like I don't do that. Like, but I got like a can of air to fix my joint, like controller drift on one of my Oculus controllers. What do you want? I'm talking. You big stinky guy. But like I got like some canned air to fix the controller drift, which worked like a charm, by the way. So I really want to get back into playing some VR stuff, but I have like literally just can't find the time to do that, which is a shame. Just honest to goodness shame. But I mean it's fine. I just need days off, and days off, then I can actually record some stuff. But where am I getting with this? I honestly don't remember. But yeah, like canned air smells great. Although I wouldn't go out of my way to huff it because I know it's not good for you, so I'm not gonna do that. Other things include Sharpies and stuff. Sharpies, I don't really care much for Sharpie smell as much as I care. Like, oh, here's a Sharpie right here. For viewing purposes. Ugh. Like it's like good, but it's just so. Yeah, yeah. That's way too close to my face with that. Jesus Christ. But one thing I did a lot as a kid, and a lot of people did too, because they had these marketed for children, was scented markers. Who thought that was a good idea? Like scented pencils and stuff, like Spencils, I get that. I love Spencils. Bubble gum or like cotton candy Spencils, great. But scented markers, who thought that was a good idea? Obviously, it's a great marketing idea, but safety-wise, that is awful. So you're just teaching kids, hey, huff some markers. It smells good, and you damn well better believe it does. Okay, this is going up there. And I'm not saying the scent as a whole. I'm saying the specific scent of the marker. Roasted marshmallow. Roasted marshmallow, the marker. The old, like, Crayola scented marker. It was the black one. That smelled so good. Like, that is probably, like, up there as, like, one of my favorite scents of all time. It never made me crave marshmallows, because only until recently did I even like marshmallows. I didn't like marshmallows until like a few months ago, where I just got the small ones. I was like, oh, you know what, the flavor's actually pretty good. I just don't really like chewing on them for too long, so I don't chew on them for too long. And then I'm like, okay, this is actually pretty tasty. It's great. But when it comes to other things, the other scents were good, but they weren't great. You know, like the marshmallow one was the one everyone wanted, and everyone was like, dude, let me smell your marker, dude. Which I never really knew you can actually get like high or anything off of those. I don't know if you can get high off of Crayola markers, but I mean, I'd assume it has like some sort of a similar effect to people. It's still a marker, right? I don't know, but either way, I just love the smell of those roasted marshmallow Crayola markers. So that's probably up there for me. It's like a favorite nostalgic smell. Like a smell that I won't really smell for a long time, but when I do smell it, I'm gonna get flooded back with memories of like being in school and just fucking hating Hassan. Not Hassan, what was his name? Husam? I don't remember his name. I probably shouldn't be naming it. None of those were right. I don't remember what his name was. If I look in my yearbook, I'll probably remember, but I fucking hated that guy. I think a lot of people kind of hated that guy. I don't know why. He was okay. He was a prick. Which some kids are, so it's just kind of how it is. Oh, man. But yeah, I mean, what do you want, Toby? Well, you have any input about smells? He doesn't smell. He's not the perfect smell. He's not a bad smell. His farts are an awful smell. He makes some of the worst smells I've ever smelled in my life. Some wood. Wood smells pretty good. Like untreated wood. Like, or maybe even treated wood. I don't actually know the difference. I'm not a carpenter or a man who works with wood ever. But I'll go into like Home Depot and just smell whatever the hell is going on in Home Depot, and that smells great. So I feel like Home Depot. I feel like, okay, so for foods, we have raspberry Pop-Tarts, Twinkies, like fresh bagels. Those are like my top 3 things for food. For places, we have local pizza joint and Home Depot. I feel like books are also pretty good smells. Maybe the library we throw in there. I feel like books are smelling, like they always smell pretty dang good, at least to me. Like a fresh book. I feel like everyone's got that, you know, like it's like new car smell or like new baby smell, which I have not smelled a baby in my life because I don't have a baby, and there's no reason I would have smelled a baby. So, but like the new car smell, I cannot agree with. I think all cars actually just smell awful unless they have like an open roof to let some air in. Because the amount of times I got in car sick, because just cars smell awful. Hot car, one of the worst smells that has ever been invented by humans, because it was a human invented smell because we invented cars. So, thanks for that, assholes. Way to make my experience just awful. Yeah, it's your fault, not you guys. I just mean like the car creators. Make it. Why can't like they should have a thing in cars where it's they always have like air fresheners for cars and stuff. But that's not enough. They should embed. I don't know the word, but they should like have it so like inside of like the lining of your car, like the soft bits like are like the fabric around your car. There should be like a layer of like some smelly thing, like fresh linen. There should be like there's like air freshener smell, like embedded in the car. So that way, when it gets hot, it kind of like warms that up, and then has the car smelling like that. Because then your car just smells like fresh linen, or it smells like green apple instead of barf and nastiness. It's just so gross. Hot car needs a fix. I feel like if anything, the perfect scent where it should be applied is a very important question. I feel like in cars is a great answer to that question, because I mean, where else are you gonna put it? Like, I mean, like, not where else are you gonna put it. There's plenty of places to put it, but like that's like a prime candidate for like, if like there was like if scent glands were like an organ donor thing, but it could go anywhere and onto anything. I feel like hot cars would be like on the top of the list, like first to get this new scent technology. Because God, they smell so bad. Like I remember as a kid especially being like super excited to go to like my grandma's house, and like my aunt would come pick us up, and I'd always be super excited and be like, yeah, I'm gonna go to grandma's, gonna have a good time, gonna have some fun with some family I haven't seen in a while. And then I opened the car door, and then I want to go home, and when I just want to leave, I just want to go back upstairs and never go anywhere because it smells so awful. It smells so bad. I don't know what sick bastard decided cars just had to smell like the most disgusting thing any person could create with any sort of object. But they did. They chose that. And God, is it the worst thing in the world. I am not understating how much I hate hot car, by the way. It's probably like the worst smell, like even worse than coffee for me. I feel like that's one of the main reasons why I got so car sick. Is just because most cars just smell bad. Just most cars. Like, I've only been in like maybe like 5 cars tops. And I've actually been like, oh, that smells pretty good. I'm enjoying being in this car right now. Like, I'm not in a lot of situations where that is something that I actually enjoy. I can't imagine why. You know, I mean, I don't know, but it's just stupid. Because it's awful. It's awful. Cars smell awful. So I feel like that's a pretty good candidate. Obviously, public bathrooms is probably pretty up there, too. Public bathrooms, I feel like that's notorious. Okay, if I'm gonna have anywhere smell like anything, that's the last option. It's literally just different people's piss and shit. And sometimes jizz. You never know what people do in a public bathroom. Blood. There's a lot of just gross body fluids that come out of public bathrooms. So I feel like that's a pretty good candidate for having some sort of scent technology in there. Which I feel like there is already. Like for cars and stuff, there's air fresheners and stuff, but those barely work. So if there needs to be like a nice wash of that. But for like bathrooms and stuff, just put like those plug-in air scent freshener things. Like just keep something smelling nice all the time. You just change them out daily or something. Like I don't like that's just part of part of the janitor's job. Is freaking crack open a pack of those Airwick scent things and just stick one in the machine. So I feel like God, that would make the experience so much better. Or better yet, like inside of like the lid, you lift the lid of a toilet bowl and there's water in there. Like right before the water, just put like a stick-on air freshener or something, like a car air freshener, just something, literally anything, or a fresh bagel. That could work too. It's just so. Ugh. Like, I don't know why. I feel like public bathrooms shouldn't be smelling as bad as they do today. I feel like there's been a lot of development in the scent game where that shouldn't be an issue anymore. And for a lot of people it isn't, because they just clean their bathrooms or they just put air fresheners in there. But for public bathrooms specifically, they need to be cleaned a lot better. I'm gonna say it. Sometimes I'll go into my store's bathroom and it smells like someone just ate like the grossest food and shat out the nastiest shit. They leave the toilet looking fine, which is thank God, but it just that smell lingers for so long, for hours, days sometimes, until I'm like, okay, fuck it, I'm cleaning this goddamn bathroom, and it smells slightly better because that smell is like the densest air you can ever hope for. It's so bad. It's so bad. But yeah. Um, any other good contenders for best smell? Best smell. I don't know. There's really not a whole lot of options. I mean, certain foods, certain buildings, certain items, I guess, but not a lot of items. Like candles. I don't think I really ever have liked the scent of any candle except for my Twinkie one. Like my Twinkie candle, it smells fine. It smells okay. It smells enough for me. But anything else, is either just too strong or too awful. Like those midnight smells, I don't get why people like those. Like the lavender. Lavender smells, I guess, fine, but just gross. I don't like. I don't like lavender. It's just not great. It's like the one flower that smells. It's like a popular flower that actually smells, and it smells awful. I don't know. But yeah. Any other places that are good for I guess if you have any ideas, let me know in the comments. But that's about it. That's all I pretty much have for you today. I definitely bloated the episode with a lot of just filler about the day, the week I've had, but I like doing that. I like just talking. I'll talk through streams and stuff. But I tend to forget a lot of things, and yeah, it just kind of folds out differently. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any ideas about the best scent, the perfect scent, let me know. Maybe it's a combination of things, like what did I even say? Pop-Tarts, Twinkies, and bagels. Can't really combine those things, but like a bacon, egg, and cheese, like on a bagel, like a bacon, egg, and cheese on a bagel, like a fresh bagel, like a sandwich. That's a fucking fantastic smell. So I mean, anything, maybe a combination of stuff would be good, but I'll leave that to you guys to decide. Think about it. Let me know, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for tuning in to Strand Deep in Conversation. Bye now, everybody.